you ever tried to make a techno kick from scratch? It's hard, I know, because it took me years to crack that code. But finally, I discovered the multiband distortion method that changed everything. And today, I'm revealing the exact process. After figuring out psytrance kicks, I thought techno would be similar. Just another slow, pitch-down kick. But I couldn't achieve that iconic plasticky attack. I'd mess with pitch curves endlessly, but sine waves are too pure and clean for that rough techno character. The breakthrough came when I realized the fundamental problem. I needed to distort the attack while keeping the low end clean. But how do you distort only part of a kick? So let's make a techno kick at 145 BPM in the key of F. I'm using Kick 2 plus Saturn 2 by FabFilter for the multi-band distortion, but you can use whatever plugins you have. The key insight? Techno kicks need that bad but good sound, like rock guitar distortion that wasn't supposed to sound that way but became iconic. This sound was probably invented by accident in the 90s, when producers took 909 kicks and distorted them heavily, creating something technically wrong but musically perfect. First, the length. At 145 BPM, 1/8 note equals 206.9 milliseconds. Like psytrance, we need time for that slower pitch down to develop the character. And now for the pitch curve, left endpoint at 20,000 Hz. We need all those high frequencies for the plasticky attack. Right endpoint at F1, 43.65 Hz are fundamental. At the 1024th mark, 1.61 milliseconds, I place a point at D5, 587.33 Hz. This creates that clicky attack with enough room for the pitch down to develop punch. And at the 164th mark, 25.86 milliseconds, I place the final point at A#2, 116.54 Hz. This gives us that somewhat soft techno body while maintaining the aggressive character. Now, just like hybrid trap kicks, we add light cosmetic distortion in Kick 2, wave distortion to 20% with 50% mix, and drive to 70%. But this is just seasoning. The real magic happens next. So here's the breakthrough. Saturn 2 with the crossover set at B2, 123.47 Hz. One semitone above our final pitch point, creating the perfect border between clean and distorted. I'm only distorting B2 and above. Everything below stays clean. Distortion type set to warm tube. Different types will give you different results, so experiment with what sounds best. And drive set to 100%, plus an 8 dB boost to lift that frequency area. And the 24 dB octave slope ensures precision. This is why multi-band distortion is crucial. Regular distortion would destroy the clean fundamentals we need for power. Now for the amplitude curve, first point at 100% volume, second point at 1/128th, 12.93 milliseconds, at 60% volume, third point at 1/64th, 25.86 milliseconds, at 15% volume, fourth point at 1/16th, 103.45 milliseconds, at 20% volume, and final point at 1/8th at 0% volume. This creates the dynamic shape that lets the plasticky attack punch through while controlling the body. Now the multiband distortion created some unwanted frequencies that need fixing, so I'm using Pro Q3 with a Bell EQ at B3, 246.94 Hz, set to -6 dB with Q factor of 0.5 and 24 dB octave slope. This removes those boxy, terrible frequencies the distortion emphasized while keeping the good stuff. And now with Pro MB, the 4 high bands, 150 to 20,000 Hz, should hit +6 dB above threshold as usual, and the 0 to 150 Hz band should hit at -2 dB below threshold, just like psytrance kicks. And that's it. A techno kick with that signature plasticky attack and soft yet boomy body. The multiband method keeps your fundamentals clean while creating that rough, distorted character that defines techno. While everyone else is destroying their entire kick with regular distortion, you're surgically targeting only the frequencies that need that bad but good treatment.
But here's what's crazy. There's one kick that's been the backbone of dance music since the 80s, and most producers still can't get it right. I'm talking about the 909. You'd think something so classic would be so simple, but it breaks rules I didn't even know existed. So do you want to know why your 909s don't knock? If so, then hit subscribe, because in the next video, I'm revealing what nobody knows about this iconic kick.